Welcome to the greatest playlist ever. Here are your hosts, Brooklyn Pete and DJ Substance.
Hey everybody, happy Monday. I am Brooklyn Pete.
And I'm DJ Substance.
How are you, bro? I'm good.
Good. He's like, oh, I'm good. Don't worry about me.
I was thinking about, I have been, what was the song of the week? That Apocalypse by...
the Cigarettes After Sex?
Yeah, I've been listening to that this week. And I was thinking about how, we haven't talked about it for a while, but the origin of this podcast name, The Greatest Playlist Ever, came from as I was putting my playlist together. And it's my, play at my funeral playlist. It's not a workout playlist. It's not a driving playlist. It's all the music that has, I would say, defined me or has, whatever. Yeah, defined me is probably the best way to put it throughout my life. And every time I would get a new song and add it to the playlist, it would, I'd put it in there, throw it on shuffle. And then the next time it popped up, I would, it's one of those little presents that you get every day when you get to, when a new song pops up out randomly. And that every time that would happen, I would think, God, this is the greatest playlist ever. So that was the origin of the name of the podcast, very tongue in cheek, because everybody's playlist should be the greatest playlist ever. I know yours is. And then the idea of us coming together, bringing our two greatest playlists evers, can only make it better, right?
Right.
So, but then I was thinking that like this song, that Apocalypse song, is one of, I believe, 50 something songs now that I've gotten from you since we started this podcast, and it's just made my playlist that much better. And so my playlist continues to become the greatest playlist ever because I keep adding songs to it. And there was a time when, and really kind of just leading up to this podcast, that I kind of stopped trying to find music. It used to be, back in our 20s, I was just like a sponge, like, yeah, everything. And then it may have been a combination of me getting older and a combination with, the music maybe just wasn't that good. But I kind of just stopped trying to find, because I guess it became harder to find good music. So I just kind of stopped trying to hunt for it. So this podcast has helped me get reinvigorated and add more songs to it. So
I would agree. I don't know if I do it as much as I used to, or like eagerly anticipating every week's new releases. I tend to get a little discouraged now when I see new music coming out, but I get through that, and almost always there's at least one thing on there that I'm like, wow, these guys are pretty good. This is, whether it's Leon Bridges or some of these older bands like The Living End, which is an older Australian band that has now come back. They released a record this week that's rocking. It's really, really good. But I just, it's something, I don't know. It's just, maybe it's, I don't think about it. It's part of my routine to pick up things and listen to them.
Yeah.
And now with the advent of, YouTube and platforms like that, the algorithm can kind of pick up on what you like and throw things your way. That KEXP to me is everything. They showcase a lot of new good bands.
Right.
But new is not always good, And a lot of what we listen to is foundational to where these bands were influenced from. Yeah. So, but I would agree. I like that term, funeral music. And I got a tough job this week, Brooklyn Pete. We're having the memorial for Oscar on Thursday. But you know what was really cool? I was listening to a song on Apple Music, and it had his little icon underneath of it. And I was like, oh, what's this? So I click on it or touch it on the touch screen on the phone or whatever, and it went to his profile and all of his playlists. So he had some really cool, like, classic rock ones in there. There was a whole, like, Beastie Boys set list. He had playlists that were like set lists from shows he went to. He's one of those people that catalogs when he goes to a show what they're playing.
Right.
And so now it's easier. I'm like, okay, I'm just going to put that on. This is all about him.
Yeah, right.
This is his memorial. And so I've told people that once in a while, when I hear a song or I play a song, and I'm like, if you're at my funeral, make sure that gets played.
Right. Yeah.
Anything off the Roxy Music Avalon record, you can't go wrong. Any one of them. My absolute favorite album of all time.
Mm-hmm.
But and conversely, sir, before either during this podcast or recording or after we get off, you're going to tell me, because Hog Wild Records has a really good selection of the national, what record I need to pick up today.
Okay.
Because I like them so much, I want to get something on vinyl.
Yeah,
so,
go get Boxer.
Okay, Boxer, it's done. Yeah. Okay, and that's probably the most favorite. Is that has Mistaken for Strangers on it?
Mistaken for Strangers, England, Apartment Story, Gospel.
Okay.
And
see, those I'm getting chill bumps now because all the records that you played by the National, I'm like, I already trust your musical taste anyway, but it's like, how did I miss that? And there's 1,000 reasons why.
Right.
There's 1,000 reasons why you miss some of the records that I played. Right. Because you're like me when you get pun intended, the broken record is stuck in your brain where you just listen to the same things over and over again because it's so good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm picking up that and Massive Attack's Safe from Harm. I special ordered on vinyl, so I saw a Boxer in there and I was like, should I pick it up? Yeah. I didn't. So it better be there. I would be highly pissed off.
If it's not there, I'd go with High Violet. So either one of those, yeah. But I'd go Boxer first and High Violet.
So, sir, I haven't counted the number of tunes that you've influenced on me, but that's why we're here doing this, listeners, because hopefully those of you that are music heads like us have someone in your life, which I'm sure you probably already do, that's a music head, but maybe in a different way. And so it's sharing your soul with another person. That's what I really think it is.
Yeah,
when you're doing
right.
that.
You're right.
It's part of who you are.
Yeah.
So, and part of who we are, we're going to show you today.
Yeah.
Beginning with you this time. Am I keeping track correctly?
You are correct. I am starting it first. First, let me do a little bit of business.
After 41 episodes, I probably got it right. Okay. Heads or tails, sir? Heads or tails?
Well, you're going to be right 50% of the time. Just before we get started, there was a comment. Speaking of KEXP, the comment that we had from the week was from Leslie. She had just listened to episode 40, and we were talking about KEXP with actors. And she put, great episode. Yes, DJ Substance, KEXP is here in Seattle, and it's the best. Fun to hear that mentioned. And I think for a lot of people in Seattle, they don't realize. I didn't realize until I moved away from Seattle that it is kind of a nationally known place or radio station. So, and I think part of the reason why it's so popular is that recording studio is it has such an amazing sound to it. I mean,
it does. And they must have done really well with YouTube, because I can remember like 10 years ago, it was just kind of like just a room or whatever.
Yeah, I know they got a new studio.
Cards on it.
Yeah,
they did.
Yeah,
and it's pretty good. What's interesting is though, they always record the bands early in the morning.
Yeah,
and it's funny watching them there because they're like,
because they're
having to they're trying to interview them, or they had one too many the night before or whatever. But always good performances. So thank you, Leslie, and thanks for listening. We appreciate you.
Yeah, she's been listening forever. We hadn't heard from her in a while. I was kind of hoping she was still with us, and she is. So,
so have we expanded beyond friends and family?
Well, I'd like to think so. I mean, we have, thanks to you, we added 4 this week on Spotify. We went from 33 to 37, and I don't know who they are. I know who some are, but I'm not sure. If you're not a friend or family, let us know. Because we don't know who's who. The people that comment I think the people that comment, I know everybody that's commented. No, there's one.
So you know Leslie?
I know Leslie. Yeah, Leslie and I went to college together. So.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, and she was in Germany in Wiesbaden, and we were working on our master's degree together, and then we both just happened to be from the Northwest. So.
Really cool.
Yeah, I didn't know at the time that she, was kind of listening to cool music too. So that's good. It's good to find out. So.
Well, I wanted to share one more thing before we get into the music, before I forget, because I'm old. But I did a gig on Friday night, and it was a private party, and those are always kind of... So Cleto Rodriguez, I don't know if you ever heard him. He's a nationally known comedian. Oh. I think he's kind of an up-and-comer, but he's a San Antonio native. And one of my friends from high school, Rose, is a local comedian as well, and she just started a streaming comedy channel, and I'll let the listeners know once it actually gets stood up and we have a link and all that stuff, but she's hilarious. Anyway, they had a red carpet event for the opening of this streaming channel, and they had me DJ. So instantly I'm nervous, because those of you that haven't been listening or have been listening have picked up by now, I'm pretty much an 80s DJ. That's really my niche. But I can DJ anything. I can do, here it's cumbias and Tejano music and top 40 dance or whatever. So I'm all focused on that. And about halfway through the set, this young couple comes up to me and said, this is all good, but can we hear some Depeche Mode? Do you know Depeche Mode, or just can't get enough? I'm like, y'all come up here so I can give you a hug, okay? This is ears
pop up like when I ask my dog if he wants to go for a walk.
Tail wagging, the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
So I say all that because those of y'all that listen know that I almost always going to have an 80s track. Today may be an exception. I can't remember, but it's funny how I was playing all the newer stuff, the Dua Lipa, the Charlie XX, and all this other stuff that some people were kind of moving around and stuff like that. But as soon as I put on Depeche Mode, Just Can't Get Enough, the dance area was packed.
Crazy.
And then in the front 242, then New Order, Blue Monday, or whatever. Yeah. I mean, it's just, I'm like, it just never fails. Yeah. People get a buzz. They want to dance to 80s music. Yeah. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
So it ended up being a fun night, but I was just like, I felt like going, see, everyone, I told you. But that gives me great hope in the young kid. And I'm like, I talked to the young man afterwards. Like, yeah, my parents, we grew up listening to this stuff. I think it's the best music ever. I'm like, you're right.
You're right. Yeah, you are not.
At least in that environment it is.
Yeah,
there's lots of other good music.
Yeah,
but anyhow, I thought I'd share that. That was a fun gig. I was super pissed off, though, because I usually have to drag my DJ booth up. It's a rooftop bar.
Yeah.
So I take an elevator up five floors, and I have this hand cart, and it's like packed. It looks like the Clampetts, on the top of the truck moving to Beverly Hills. But anyway, so I get into the elevator. I get up there, and the fucking proprietor built a DJ booth. I'm like, could you maybe send me a fucking text message or something? I'd lug all this shit up here. Anyway, all I had to bring was my gear. And the booth is gorgeous. Yeah. I'll send you a photo afterwards.
I think I saw you. I think you posted it somewhere. Oh, it must be on Instagram. I think. Yeah,
it was on Insta. Yeah. So it's a really nice spot, and the weather here it's still kind of a little bit too hot for this time of year, but at night it was nice and cool, clear, full moon, and the whole thing. So it was fun, but. Those are the ones I got to charge more for, man. It's just, it's a lot. Bringing every single thing. I had lights and my big monitor speakers, but I tell you what, man, it sounded really good.
Good. Nice.
So, anyhow, but I digress. All right, so what are we starting with today?
Oh, one more thing just before we start. Let's close this poll. Episode number 10. Episode number 10 didn't get a lot of love. It didn't get a lot of responses. So,
Episode 10?
Episode 10.
What?
Episode 10 had No More Heroes by the Stranglers. Had Novocaine for the Soul by Eels. It had Marianne by the Sisters of Mercy. It had Shout by Tears for Fears. Best of Friends by Palm of Violets. And Love Crash Heal by Solar.
I'm going to tell you right now, listeners, we're way down the road here. Maybe many of you, because statistically this happens with podcasts, you just kind of jump in the middle or towards the end, or maybe right now, go back to episode 10 and listen to that Palm of Violets track. Yeah. They're all good, but that's a sleeper right there. Mm-hmm. If you want to rock out a little bit, Iggy Pop thought they were the best thing that came about that year. Fortunately, they're no longer together, but anyway.
That's still a song. And
but it just goes to prove, don't miss an episode. There's always some. There's always some. It's like opening a box of cereal back in the day. You don't know what the little secret prize is at the bottom. Maybe it's worth an ass whipping to dig your arm all the way down and balloon out the box
get the big mixing bowl and dump all the cereal out and then get it. Yeah.
No, mine would just stick it all the way down in there and get an ass whipping because I had my dirty ass hands down there
to get your stickers
to get a fucking whistle or something. Captain Crunch whistle. Yeah. Anyway.
So, No More Heroes. The ones that did not get votes is No More Heroes by the Stranglers and Love Crash Heal by Solar. Coming in tied for second, a three-way tie was Marianne by the Sisters of Mercy, Shout by Tears for Fears, and Best of Friends by Palm of Violets. With 40% of the vote was Novocaine for the Soul by the Eels.
That's a great track. Great track.
So that'll go in. That's number 10 on our list of songs that's on that group. And just a quick recap. I'm not going to do this all the time because eventually there's going to be 100 plus songs. But Like the Weather by 10,000 Maniacs, Lost Weekend by Lloyd Cole and the Commotions, The Funeral by Band of Horses, The Beatles with the Norwegian Wood, The Airborne Toxic Event with Changing, Wish You Were Here by Pink Floyd, Fade to Grey by Visage, What Have I Done to Deserve This by Pet Shop Boys, Starman by David Bowie, and now Novocaine for the Soul by Eels. So please, that one didn't have a lot of votes. I'm hoping that as we move forward, there'll be more and more votes. If you haven't listened or you haven't voted, if you haven't listened, you feel free to go back and listen. But if you haven't voted, go back and just look at the poll. You probably know a song on there that you like. I would have thought that Shout would have gotten more votes. And I would have predicted Shout by Tears for Fears to win that poll, but just based on popularity. But just go vote for the songs that you like, or like I said before, vote for the one you hate the least if you don't like any of them. Just get democracy
just
working.
Vote. Just tell us something.
Just something. That's it. Well, I think we're ready. 18 minutes in. Man, I'm telling you, we get a little bit chatty now. It's good.
Our brothers across the pond, though, they can chat. I listen to theirs. Really good. That's another good music podcast to listen to. Just real quick, we'll put a plug in for music is none of our business. A couple of blokes from the UK. Really, really good.
Very good. And you can find them wherever you find us. Okay, so I'll get started. My first song is from Green Day, from their fourth album, I believe. And it is Good Riddance, Time of Your Life.
Another turning point, a fork stuck in the road. Time grabs you by the wrist, directs you where to go. So make the best of this test and don't ask why. It's not a question but a lesson learned in time. It's something unpredictable, but in the end is right. I hope you had the time of your life. So take the photographs and still frames in your mind, hanging on a shelf in good health and good time. Tattoos and memories and dead skin on trial. For what it's worth, it was worth all the while. It's something unpredictable, but in the end is right. I hope you had the time of your life. It's something unpredictable, but in the end it's right. I hope you had the time of your life. It's something unpredictable, but in the end it's right. I hope you had the time of your life.
Off their fifth, I think I said fourth, off their fifth studio album, Nimrod. That is Green Day with Good Riddance or Time of Your Life. Probably, I would say, their most popular song.
Billy Joe
Yep.
Armstrong.
Pretty much him on the acoustic guitar there. Yep.
I'm probably completely alone in this, but I don't have one Green Day record.
You know, I think I mentioned this before. Some people just don't like Green Day, or you know, I'm sure you don't hate Green Day, but it's just
No, I don't. I think it always comes down to if I'm gonna. Well, now we can stream, so it doesn't matter. But if I was going to buy a record back then, that just wouldn't have been on my list. Only I think because it was always on television all the time.
Yeah, well, this song, I think it's been on a bunch of TV shows, and you know, I think it's in commercials now. So you hear it everywhere. So I get that.
And this is kind of stripped back too for them because all their stuff was really their early stuff was really energetic. It was. They often get made fun of by the punk community or whatever, but I just think that hey, if this is what you're doing for a living and you can make money on it, and you're sticking to who you are fundamentally, the more power to you.
Yeah.
You know,
and this was you're right. This was actually supposed to be on Dookie. What we played something? Oh no, I can't remember what we played before from Green Day, which is good. It means
I think we did play something off of Dookie. I think.
Yeah, I'll have to go back and look. But this was supposed to be on Dookie, but like you said, it was a little bit. That was a little heavier, harder, more punky, I suppose, and so it was held off of that. So and Dookie was actually their third album. The first two, I can't remember their names of the first two, weren't. They were off label. The Dookie is the first major label, so this is actually the third major label album, Nimrod. And it's funny if you hear the very beginning when he first tries to start it with the chords, just real subtly. He plays tries to play that chord, those first chords like twice, and then he goes, "Fuck," and then it starts. So.
I tell you what, though, that's a touring band. They have toured their butt off.
Yeah.
And had been around since '88. They were only 15 years old. A couple of them when they started. Billy Joe, I think, was the one that had started the band when they were, just teenagers.
Yeah.
So, and I have lots of friends. Oscar was one of them too that loved the Green Day.
Yeah.
Yeah. He'd been to a bunch of their shows. And are they still recording? When's the last time they put an album out? Do you know?
The last time they put an album out was.
Sorry for the pop quiz.
It's all right. They're still together. Their last album.
Yeah, I did read that they were still together.
Oh yeah, last year, Saviors was put out, 2024.
Yes, it's 1990. The first one, 39 Smooth, Kerplunk.
Yeah.
It's funny, Kerplunk, Dookie, Nimrod, Idiot.
I think we played the first song we played was Boulevard of Broken Dreams from American Idiot.
Yes.
I think so. Yeah. So, but yeah, been around a while and pretty popular.
So 75 million records.
Yeah,
that's insane.
And they had the Broadway
Worldwide.
show, and yeah, they've done pretty.
They got a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame too.
Yeah. And where did I just see?
The music. They had a stage adaptation of American Idiot.
Yeah.
You know, that's a definitely a leap forward for a band when they can get a stage adaptation of an album. You know, that's a lot to be said for that.
This song is, let's see, Rolling Stone named it as one of the 20 best graduation songs of the past 20 years. Which, yeah, it seems like, and it was on the a Seinfeld episode, The Chronicle, one of those clip shows. I think it was the last. I think they did one at 100 episodes, and then they did another clip show towards the end, and this one was on the series finale clip show. So yeah, pretty popular, pretty well known throughout the world, really. But and I like it. It is stripped down. Just grab an acoustic guitar and sing. So. And
one more again. What year was this?
1997.
97.
No, I don't think so. 1997. Yeah,
man.
I have two from the 90s. That's my first one.
Okay, good start.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Song. Definitely.
And now, I'm getting my that little anxiety. It's getting better. It's better than last week. This is fun. I have to remind myself it is fun, but I have no idea what's next. So.
See, for listeners, I'm more of a fly by the seat of my pants person. Brooklyn Pete's got to be a little bit more organized. And
just want to know. But
you know what, though? You're doing good, sir.
I really actually don't. I don't let my anxiety
the spot
fool you.
It's enjoyable.
I like it.
It's a good anxiety.
Yeah.
Right?
It is.
Because we're going to hear something.
You going to play the song or what? What are we doing?
You're like, shut the hell up and play the song. Okay. My first song is by the James Bond of rock and roll, Brian Ferry.
Ah, yeah.
Yes, sir. With The In Crowd.
Oh, yes.
You're not
Brian Ferry, 1974, with the In Crowd.
That's 1974?
Yes, sir. And it is a cover by a song originally performed by a gentleman named Dobie Gray in 1964. And I can they used to have a show, and they would show reruns. I don't know if you remember, of Dick Clark's Rock and Roll Remember. Really old, but it showed Dobie Gray.
Is that before Bandstand?
Yeah. there would be, at least on the East Coast, there would be reruns of that show. And I remember hearing the song. I couldn't remember, like, what it, because I was a little kid. But he puts a real rock edge to it, which is really cool. So, yeah, great track.
I remember this. I had this on, I had a Brian Ferry, like a greatest hits collections, I think it was called. I had that. And do you, like, is there a distinction between, because I haven't picked it up, between Brian Ferry and his solo work and Roxy Music? Because sometimes I don't know if it's a Roxy Music song or a Brian Ferry song.
So, yeah, that's a big question. You know, of course, when the lead singer ventures off, almost always they kind of retain some of the sound. If you listen to the first few Brian Ferry Roxy Music records, they were a much different band. They were considered a glam rock band. But Brian Ferry is a individual. His recording style is almost like Steely Dan. They sort of had like many different musicians that play on his records. This one sounds a whole lot to me like Roxy Music. I want to say, I'm not sure, but this is his first solo album. It's called Another Time, Another Place.
I thought he didn't really do solo work until the 80s, so I was surprised when you said this is in 75.
Actually, Roxy Music was still together till 1980. Roxy Music Avalon was her last album. 82, I'm sorry. That was their last album together. And then, of course, he came out with Boys and Girls and some of his other solo records that super stylish, Slave to Love and all those, just really good. But he's always had, he hasn't had the same band members solo that he had when he was in Roxy Music. But there are remnants, to answer your question, of the Roxy Music sound in his solo work. This one, to me, sounds like early Roxy Music. So, but he wrote many of the songs. And I've said before, I saw his Roxy Music 50th anniversary tour in Austin a few years ago. And Paul Manzara, all the original band members, the drummer was there, except for Brian Eno. Many may not know Brian Eno was a part of the original Roxy Music lineup. And
right, I forgot about that.
Mm-hmm. And so
Dance Away was, I was trying to think of the one we did before. We did Roxy Music before, Dance Away.
Yeah, Dance Away.
Episode 12.
Wow, that's another good one. But this is something that's a little bit, well, not a little bit. If you don't, even people who know who Brian Ferry is from the 80s, often like you, they don't know that he had some solo music also in the 70s. Roxy Music was alive and well during this time as a band. So I think he was just starting to kind of dip his toes in the solo work at that time. So anyway.
When I had that on that greatest hits or collections CD, and I didn't realize it went that far back. I thought it was all 80s type stuff.
And I've had the pleasure of seeing Mr. Ferry 3 times live, and never disappoints. But yeah, that was when that one popped up. I was, this is a great one. Hadn't listened to it in a while. So
good.
90s to 70s. Where are we going next?
We're going late 60s. The album is actually 1970s, but the song is 1969, and that is the Beatles with Get Back.
Nice.
Here we go. Get Back by the Beatles. Off of the Let It Be album that came out in 1970, but this came out, I think it was early 1970 was when that album came out. This song came out in April of 1969 and was on, it was sung during that rooftop concert that they did in 1969. And a contributing member of this was Billy Preston, who was kind of a jazz, soul, R&B keyboardist, and that keyboard that you hear on this song is Billy Preston. Kind of gives it that funk soul sound. I love all the Beatles, but all the Beatles records, but that later stuff, that late '60s, early '70s Beatles is the best. So
I agree. That Billy Preston, he played quite a bit with them as well.
Yeah,
and Peter Jackson did a mini-series documentary on this. I remember seeing that rooftop gig where they played this. So
by that time they weren't doing concerts anymore because they couldn't go. They would go to do concerts and everybody was screaming so much it wasn't even a good show. So, the rooftop stuff or they would do like little gigs here and there, but they weren't touring. So, So when you see the rooftop concert, that's one of the rare times that they would perform during that time.
So this was off Let It Be, right? 1970.
Off Let It Be.
Yeah.
So
can't say enough about the Beatles, man. That's the ground zero of everything.
It really, it is, and it's not just for listeners of it, but for influences so many artists moving forward. And we've had several of the Beatles. Not several. Maybe this is I'd have to look. Fourth, maybe? Norwegian Wood we did.
I wish I could find this single on vinyl. I bet it's next near to impossible. Because the B-side of this single, Get Back, is Don't Let Me Down. Not a bad...
Another bluesy song, yeah. And that'll come up, too.
So I'm still kicking the tires. One of my buddies, Mark Moore, has tickets to see Paul McCartney here in town.
Yeah.
For $400 a seat.
Jeez.
I know. But I mean, wow, one of the last living Beatles, Beatle.
Yeah.
So
I would imagine that you might at a Paul McCartney show, you probably see Ringo on occasion come out.
I would think so.
They're good friends, and he's still doing his thing. So
he still looks pretty good too, Ringo Starr.
Yeah. Yep.
For his age,
Yeah.
I mean, geez. So John Lennon said in an interview that Get Back to him was a better version of Lady Madonna. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah. And it's funny because John Lennon said that whenever Paul would sing this, he'd be looking at Yoko.
Saying get back to where you once belonged, right?
Yeah, get back. Yeah, mind your place, kind of thing. There was that? There was some tension.
What was that about? She was just trying to assert herself a little bit too much. Is that maybe it?
Yeah, and seemed to have a lot of influence on John, and a little bit. When you have a tight band like that, and then and I think there's a certain amount of that with Linda McCartney too. They just, I don't know how to say this politically correct. That sometimes women can get in the way a little bit. They want to have their place.
Yeah,
you have a significant other. They don't want to just say stand on the sidelines. They want to be part of the thing. So.
I think that's the thing too. When there's a vibe going on as a group, any outsider influence can be detrimental to a band.
Yeah.
But
I imagine it's the other way around. I'm sure men get the women's business too, but
I don't know. I could kind of understand where hopefully they got to that point. I could see being in a band when you've you've said everything you need to say, and we'll just leave it there. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And how many bands, there's bands that wish they had one song
Right.
that gained the notoriety that the Beatles had with hundreds of songs.
Right. Yeah. I mean, they would do that every album. They'd have the songs that people would just dream of writing. So
yeah.
So
good records.
That's another good one. That's again that later '60s Beatles I think is where we get the best stuff from them. We've done Penny Lane before, and that was a good one. Norwegian Wood. All those are good. All that stuff from like Rubber Soul, Let It Be. What's the one after Sgt. Pepper's?
Mm-hmm.
All those.
All good.
All those albums. Yeah. So. It's been a while since we've done the Beatles, so it's nice to kind of bring them back in.
Well, we got to get to our roots, sir. That's where we cut our teeth musically. All of us in our generation, but even my oldest daughter, she's a huge Beatles fan.
Yeah.
So the timeless music, absolutely.
Yeah, and anybody that kind of says, "Well, what's so great about the Beatles?" and then goes back and listens to them, like, okay, I get that. But some people think they're overrated. But for the most part,
never.
You can't.
Never.
Yeah, you can't listen to the Beatles and at least see some of the influence, and then you also have to put it in the place of that time. And would the Beatles be as popular today? I think they'd be pretty damn popular. But well, first of all, the music wouldn't be the way it is today without the Beatles. I think
they're the ground zero of many pop stars. But the other side of a really successful band, and one of them is one that I'm going to play a little bit later, is that when a band can go on, members of a band can go on to produce hit solo records.
Yeah, right.
I mean, George Harrison, John Lennon, Paul McCartney and Wings, Ringo Starr, all of them went on to do, because it was just a mega talent, all of them.
Yeah.
So,
and we were fortunate to get the music that we got from them all together. So
yes, sir. Okay,
there you go, sir. That's number 2. God, this is a good show so far.
Well, we're gonna. I don't know. I don't think our English friends from Music Is None of Our Business include this 1989 record, but maybe I didn't get that far. I don't think I listened to the entire thing yet, but I'm going to get to the end of it. So my second track is from the Manchester act from 1989, New Order with Fine Time. I think that's the first time I ever noticed sheep at the end.
Yeah, I was like, was that a goat? It's funny. As soon as you popped up the paper, before you even said who it was, when you put up the album cover, the first thing that popped into my mind was, "You got love technique."
That's good.
And I didn't know if it was that song because I hadn't heard that for forever, but I knew it was on this album because the album name is Technique. Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was on this song or not. Yeah, such a good song.
Boy, I could shoot myself in the foot for not having, which I did already, for not having all these records. This is the fifth studio album by the Manchester Darlings, New Order, and released on Factory Records. That was towards sort of the end of the Factory Records era, which fueled Hacienda, which was a big nightclub. And New Order actually recorded this record in Ibiza, in Spain. And of course, it was crazy back then. If you look at the sleeve to this album, there's like pills all over it. So it was definitely the time of folks doing ecstasy and staying out all night and dancing. It's sort of a Balearic beat and acid house sound. But, you know, Bernard Sumner felt like they were just kind of typecast into that dance electronic stuff. But he said, you know, it would have been daft for them to stop doing that kind of music. And they do it so well. So it's Bernard Sumner definitely has the voice. Peter Hook, the bassist, had a very, very, it's one of the rare times I think in a band that the bassist really makes the sound of the band. And I just don't think New Order is New Order without Peter Hook.
Yeah.
Or Hooky, as he's affectionately called.
And you saw him not a year or so ago.
I did. And I actually have a signed tee by him. We're all required at Oscar's Memorial to wear concert tees. I'm going to wear that one.
That's a good one.
Yeah. So Peter Hook, Bernard Sumner, Jillian and Steve. I can't think of their last names. Those were the core members of the band. They did a couple of more records, but this was sort of at the end of their pop music reign in the UK and definitely in the States. Their dance music hits. Round and Round was on this. Not just Fine Time, Run was another one on this. Mm-hmm. This one didn't do as well as like Brotherhood and Low Life, their mid 80s, but it's definitely a record to go back and listen to. It's It's really, really good. And I can tell you, every time I do any kind of an 80s set, I got another gig coming up on Friday. This will definitely be in it because if I don't play it, people will request it.
Yeah.
Guilty Partner, Vanishing Point, Mr. Disco, Technique, 1989, New Order. Again, another great 80s act out of the UK. Still have a heavy influence on music today, 40 plus years later. So go out and get it.
I remember playing this one a lot. 1990 is when I kind of have this place for. So yeah, but yeah, that's a good New Order. And I remember going to the clubs. I was in Germany at the time, and there was some German clubs that I would go to and play a lot from this album.
No doubt.
Very good.
No doubt.
Yeah. Good.
Okay, Brooklyn Pete.
I'm going to wrap this up with a nostalgic hit for us. Or maybe not the song, but the band. The song came out a little bit after we had left Korea, but we had definitely been listening to them from an album called Bandwagon-esque.
Oh, yeah.
And this is Teenage Fan Club off of the album Grand Prix, and it's Sparky's Dream. The fifth studio album Grand Prix, that is Teenage Fan Club with Sparky's Dream.
Man, I forgot about this band. I got to tell you, they're really good. Another Scottish band.
Another Scottish band, yeah.
Glaswegian.
We do like playing our Scottish bands. Yeah, from
Super
Glasgow.
Good. I love
it's
this.
Still together.
still together. And I love this band because all of them contribute and write songs. Yeah, which I think is really, it's not usually like, there's usually like one person that's a primary songwriter, maybe, like Depeche Mode, there's Dave Gahan, and Martin Gore is sort of the songwriter. But this band, they all participate, and I think they even sing their own songs too. They harmonize really well, really well.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. And Bandwagon-esque was, I believe, their third album that came out when we were there, right? In Korea?
It was, yeah.
Right, with...
What You Do to Me, that one? Yeah.
Star Sign and The Concept.
Star Sign was the jam.
Yeah.
That was the jam.
Yeah. So
good.
I have
Power
a few
pop,
songs.
Jangle pop, Brit pop.
Britpop, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Very good. I've found a few songs from them since we were in Korea, but I think I have about 5.
There's
probably more.
Was there another? Did they release like 2 records that year? I thought there was another called Deep Fried or something that came out in 95 or 94, maybe. I don't know.
Let's see what they did here. They did, they did Bandwagon-esque in 91, and then 93 was
that was a greatest hits, and it had like rarities of the band. So that's crazy. They had a greatest hits by 95. Where were we at? We only listened to one album.
So 95 was also when Grand Prix came out, and I was listening to this one in Germany. There were some Britpop compilation albums called Shine. It started out with Shine, and then with Shine 2, Shine 3, and I think I bought up to Shine 9, I believe. And they had all the Britpop stuff, and I got this was on one of those. Mellow Doubt was on one of them. Star Sign was on one. They're very good. I really everything I've listened to by them I like, and I should probably try and find some more. I haven't dug into them as deep as I probably should have, especially now that I know that they're still around. They've been making music a long time. So
if I can find Bandwagon-esque today, I may pick that up too on vinyl.
There you go.
God, what a great record! Great record. But this is really good song. I've never heard this song, so thank you for that. I'm gonna.
Oh, sure.
I don't remember this album at all, so I'm gonna have to check it out for sure.
Yeah.
Grand Prix.
Yeah, well, Mellow Doubt's another good one. That's another good song off of there, and that'll come up. I'll play that. But,
I'm downloading that one right now, sir. Yeah, right. I need that in my life.
Isn't that great?
Yeah.
I love that when you get something that is like, yep, I need that one.
Yeah, really, really good. Okay, Scottish. So we went 90s, 70s, 60s, 90s.
Yep.
Where are we going now?
A little bit. Would you say that was that New Order? Was that 80? Was that 89 or 90?
89. Sorry.
Yeah. So, but that's all right. 80s, 90s is pretty. That line gets blurred there. So
the end of an era. 89.
Where are we going? What are we finishing up with?
Okay.
Where's the time machine taking us?
We're going to go all the way back to 1996, and I'm sure you have this album as well, from American Faves, the Eagles.
Mm-hmm. Oh, from 95. All right.
The 76 with the Eagles with Pretty Maids All in a Row. that was from the Eagles' 1976 smash album Hotel California with Pretty Maids All in a Row, which was actually a deeper cut.
Yeah,
much deeper cut.
It's a deep cut, but if you look at Hotel California, it's got Hotel California, New Kids in Town, Life in the Fast Lane, Victim of Love, this one, Pretty Maids in a Row. It's got a lot of good songs, and it's got a Joe Walsh vocal on it. That's pretty cool. And like you said, just like we mentioned with Teenage Fan Club, the Eagles kind of the same thing. A lot of the guys, a lot of different singers. It was probably split between Glenn Frey and Don Henley mostly, but every once in a while you'd get a Joe Walsh song. Right, Randy Meisner would sing, and
Glenn Frey,
that's what made them kind of so unique. So.
They were, and like the Beatles that we played earlier, all of them went on to have very successful solo careers.
Yeah.
So Bob Dylan actually told the New York Times in 2020 that this song is probably one of the best songs ever written.
It's a very good song. And I have to, you say it's a deep cut. Yeah. And I'd heard it before. And I don't even know if it's on their, they have those 2 greatest hits albums, and I don't know if it's on there, but it's a really good one.
Yeah, it's I think it's often overlooked of how much of an influence Joe Walsh had on the band. That's definitely his guitar. I used a double neck slide guitar or something on there, and he did more of the edgier Eagles, I would say.
Right.
Like Life in the Fast Lane and that kind of stuff,
Yeah. Well, Life in the Fast Lane is Don Henley. I always think, but the guitar is definitely Joe Walsh, on Life in the Fast Lane. Mm-hmm. Life in the Fast Lane reminds me of Life's Been Good. Is that Life's Been Good to Me so far? But
and that was from his solo work. What's the record where he's underwater and stuff? That one's good.
Yeah, you're right. Joe Walsh is definitely the edgier of, and that's another band with two lead guitarists with him and I can't remember the other guitarist's name, but when you get to the end of Hotel California, you get that kind of lead guitarist battle that closes out the song. But yeah, this is Joe. I like having you have Joe Walsh on lead vocals here, and then the harmonizing. Another great thing that the Eagles did was harmonize so well, and then so you could hear them come in. I think that's Don Henley coming in behind him, or it might be Glenn Frey. I can't remember. But yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, really good. He wrote it with one of his longtime friends and collaborator. He was in a band called Barnstorm and Vital, which was another one, and Joe Vital. And he ended up he would later go on to be a touring drummer with the Eagles, and it took them literally a few hours. They just got together at his house. And Joe Walsh said, "Hey, this is what I have." He sat down on the piano, and then he said they were just there for like 2 or 3 hours and nailed it. Wrote the chorus. Joe Vital wrote the chorus and added some changes, and in a matter of 2 or 3 hours, they finished the song. So
that's good.
Went out to be cool. one of the greats. But again, that's the era of, and we talk about this often, in the 70s with some of these power rock albums, that are just very iconic. They were good from beginning to end. And this is considered one of the 8th or 9th most popular songs on this album, but that's still saying a lot. All the songs on that record.
Right.
But I think we all had that. I remember I used to try to figure out as a kid what all this warm smell of colitis is.
Yeah.
I had to look that up in the dictionary. What is that? You got some cold.
My connection to this song, it's funny how like when a song or an album comes on and you just have this immediate connection. Next to, we used to have this wooded area right next to my house, and we used to build forts and stuff when we were kids. And around the mid 70s, the owner, maybe more late, like 77 or so, the owner of that land, tore it down and built a house. And the people that moved in it, it was an older couple with two daughters. One was probably like 18 and one was like 22, and blonde and just gorgeous. I don't know who, but we were just like, just jaws dropped whenever we saw them. And they had a pinball machine in there. They had like this video, not a video, like a what we used to call it, rec room. And they had a pinball machine that you like a legit pinball machine.
Shut up.
And us dumbasses, we would go like without any kind of thought about, oh, they probably don't want. We were like 14 or so, 13, 14. We'd go knock on, bring their ball. Hey, can we play your pinball machine? And we'd be down in their fucking guest room or their rec room playing this pinball machine for hours. And I remember they would be playing this album. That's my connection to it. But they didn't seem to care. They didn't say, hey, no, who the fuck are you? They were just, sure, come on down. It would be like 3 or 4 of us, of my 13, 14-year-old friends, just, playing pinball. But these girls are walking by and we're just like staring at them. And it's like, it was just kind of a weird 70s thing that we used to do. Mom didn't know where the hell we were. They'd be there for hours. Playing free pinball.
But did you really want to see the pinball machine?
God, yeah, I know. Yeah. And then they were like really nice. And it was just like, what? This is so weird. Most girls are, mean to me, but they were.
So,
hey.
So was the Eagles playing there?
Yeah. I remember like Hotel California playing, like that album playing, and they had a record player and they were playing albums. I remember Fleetwood Mac and a lot of that kind of 70s cool California shit. And
that's cool, man.
And that's my connection. As soon as I hear that, as soon as I see that Hotel California album cover or hear anything off of that, that's where it takes me.
Well,
those
thanks for sharing.
Years.
Yeah, wasn't it? The wonder years, as they say.
Yeah.
Well, good. I think that was a good bookend for this episode to close it out. So.
Yeah. And we dipped it. We only go back into the 60s and 70s like once, but we did it a couple times. Yeah, got a good variety today.
It was really good.
Oh, and I'm sure you're voting. Oh, you guys got some tough choices to vote for today, I think. So
yeah,
so,
really.
Hopefully,
tough.
you're doing that now as we close things out. Don't forget to vote on this one. Don't forget to go back and vote for others. It's always interesting to see what you guys pick, and we like when you guys are involved. So please participate.
Por favor.
You've mentioned Hog Wild Records. I think you're going there today. Is it? Pick up some.
I'm going
vinyl?
as soon as we're done. I'm heading over there.
Very cool. So, and hopefully you guys are finding your own little record store. And I'm really, when I get settled in Australia, that's one of the first things I'm doing is collecting some vinyl. I'm going to try and limit myself to really like 50 albums, unlike you who says 50 and then,
150.
Yeah. We mentioned the boys across the pond with Music Is None of Our Business. We really like that podcast, and
yes. I
look forward to whenever they put an episode out. So if you like us, you may like them. Give them a listen. Modsnap Radio every Monday morning, 9:00 Central. If you want to listen to us stream on a radio station, that's where we are. Or you can get us on Apple, Spotify. I tried to get us on YouTube, and it didn't really work. YouTube kind of blocked us like right off the bat. So, but Apple, Spotify, Amazon, Good Pods, Castro, Podbean, we're all over the place. But the big ones are Apple, Spotify, Amazon, Audible. You'll find us wherever you normally find podcasts. I mean, you're listening to us, so whatever you're listening to us on, there you go. What else do we normally say? Don't forget to vote. Don't forget to listen.
Don't forget to listen to music every day.
Every day.
It's a big one.
We love it. I don't go a day without listening to music.
We love it.
We love it. Yeah.
Okay.
And with that, I think we're good. Go get those albums.
Very good. Thanks for listening, everyone. Have a great week.
Have a great week. We'll see you next week. Peace.
Adios.